Over the past couple of videos, we've been talking about small business benefits and how they can help you attract and retain key critical employees and people and reduce turnover overall. But with adding benefits, there's also a financial component. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today and help you figure out how to think about benefits as you are bringing team members on, and also how to plan for the financial burden of adding benefits to your financials. So welcome back to the Clara CFO Group channel. We talk about all things small business here, and we help small business owners make more informed decisions. And so as we've been talking about benefits, we want to also bring in the fact that yes, benefits do cost money and we want to make sure that you are prepared for that and they're not blindsided, and that you also know what you need to be aware of as you're bringing on and adding new expenses into your business. Anytime you're making a big decision like adding in expenses, you do need to be thinking about really how much exactly is this going to be costing us. And really importantly too, is that when you're adding in benefits, you typically don't take them away. This is not something like a software subscription that you can turn on and turn off. Once you get your employees used to benefits, you can't really pull back. You can change plans. You can maybe offer something that's a little bit more flexible. You could maybe shift into a lower cost option for virtually the same thing. But offering benefits and then taking them away is like a big no-no. You might restructure, like I said, but just fully taking them away is not good. So when you go to add benefits, you really want to make sure that you've done your financial planning and that you know exactly what things are going to cost, and that you also shift the rest of your business financials around to absorb higher overhead. And that's what this does. Benefits, when we add them in, it creates higher overhead for your business. Now, we haven't really talked exactly what overhead is, but it's operational expenses that are not directly generating revenue for you. So just because you add benefits doesn't mean that your revenue is going to skyrocket because, of some kind of correlation there. Benefits are something you do to hopefully keep and retain really great employees. You will have long-term higher satisfaction for your employees, and you will reduce turnover, which is expensive. But it's not like every dollar you spend, you're going to see $2 coming back in on revenue in regards to benefits. So what you need to do is you need to be first planning for what you can afford. And then you need to also be thinking about, what do I need to do to absorb the cost of adding benefits? When I do this with clients, what we're thinking about is we think about the long-term projection. Sometimes our businesses are already very profitable, and adding a benefit is something that we would just absorb. And it would just mean that our profit is a little bit lower, but it's just a new little added cost layer in our P&L now that we've added benefits in. But what we do need to think about is that on an ongoing basis, we've increased our total expenses in our business. And that means that we have less ability to have profit. When we take away expenses, operating expenses, and we, spend that money, that means that our profit is lower. So we need to be thinking about if our pricing is correct, because every time you add overhead as a business, you need to be thinking, is my pricing okay? Now, you might have priced with tons of room in the budget to be able to do flexible things and be able to add an extra cost layer like benefits. But it might mean that if you add benefits, you might want to relook at pricing. Now, when I'm doing this with clients too, we always put decisions like this into a forecast. This could look like, a 12-month or a 6-month rolling forecast. You could also look at your cash flow forecast with this, but we would want to project out, is this going to work for now? Especially if you do all of your pricing increases at the beginning of the year and you want to start adding benefits right now, we're in July, you need to plan for, is that going to affect cash flow too much, or do you need to push out benefits until you can also, have that rate increase that goes along with it, okay? So I highly recommend thinking about building a forecast so that you can figure out exactly what it's going to look like on your P&L when you add in benefits, and then make the decision, do you need to change your pricing? The next thing I want to say is that benefits, you need to be thinking about, once you make the commitment, you need to make the commitment in the long-term future. So if you are on a group plan, let's say, and you actually have no control over what your rates are going to be going forward. And I've seen healthcare costs jump, double digits in a year. So you need to plan for price increases of benefits over time. They almost never decrease. Always consider that they're going to be increasing and plan for that. What does healthcare look like if it's 10% growth every single year? That's a lot, but you know what? It's not unrealistic. Now, you might look at, hey, if that's the case, maybe that's not feasible. Maybe I need to go with something like an HRA instead. The other thing you want to think about is if your benefits are based on salary, salaries go up over time, don't they? Hopefully. So if you're offering a 401k and let's say that you're matching the first 3%, then you need to be planning for the fact that that 3% might be one number in this year, but then it's going to be higher next year because it's going to be based on their increases, salary increases, pay increases. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're planning, that you need to think about, hey, rising costs. We pay our people more and our benefits are going to go up along with it. This is where long-term planning really comes into play. So if you need any help with this, find yourself somebody who can help you with projections. We do that with our company. We provide virtual CFO services, and this is stuff that we're working with our clients all the time on. So if you do need support, please reach out to us. You can find some links in the description box below. But really what I want for you guys, and we also have cash flow forecasting. I'll put a couple workshops in the description box as well, so you have some resources there. But really be thinking, I guess, if I'm going to have one takeaway, think about this is a long-term commitment. So if you're going to offer benefits to your employees, make sure that you are prepared for what it looks like to have a long-term commitment, and also understand that your overhead is higher. You might need to change your revenue in order to absorb higher rising costs. I think that's it. That's kind of just a little bit of a warning, but I want to tell you guys, there are resources out there and you can absolutely do this. People and companies are doing this all the time as they are up-leveling their businesses, taking their businesses to the next level. You're also kind of constantly looking at pricing and looking at revenue to see if you can afford these additional things and these additional expenses. All right, well, thanks so much for being here. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. I'm happy to answer them. And again, I will put some resources for you guys in the description box. All right, thanks so much. Bye.